threat of disaster is never pleasant.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers podcast.
These safety measures are essential.
The only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment.
This will be your source of survival instructions and information. Every member of the family must be coached in the business of survival.
Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
Boy, I just pissed off today.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Preppers. Oh, that make me so mad.
You're going to hear a lot of anger coming out today.
Yeah.
Right? Well, why are we getting so angry today?
Yeah, we compiled this list probably based on some of the early things we experienced when we started the podcast.
Yeah,
so
much of it is. Yeah.
We're going to talk about 20 things preppers, not you preppers.
No, not if you're listening.
The other preppers do that piss us off.
Oh, you're so pissed.
I'm so mad right now. Yeah, so we're going to go over that list. And
we are.
How you can avoid it and be a good little prepper.
Yeah, I mean, this is just our opinions. So it doesn't really matter one way or the other.
It does matter, though.
It does.
It matters to us.
You want to know what really
Actually,
matters?
It doesn't matter to us,
No.
to be honest.
We're just like, whatever. We don't care. But we
just want to
pissed.
talk and get together.
That's right. I got to tell you about BattleBox. It is the monthly subscription box full of solid gear for adventure seekers, survivalists, outdoor enthusiasts, and casual preppers. Each month, BattleBox sends you the coolest selection of handpicked outdoor survival and everyday carry gear, all valued at far more than what you'd normally pay. You never know what's in the next box, but here's a sampling of what users received this month. The Heavens Harvest Seed Kit. How about the Ruck and River camping table?
Row River.
Yeah, Ruck and River. All this badassness starts at just $34.99 per month. They've shipped over 1 million boxes, and they won Best Subscription Box of 2020. Our listeners get a free knife when you sign up at battlebox.com/casualpreppers. Get your first BattleBox plus a free knife at battlebox.com/casualpreppers.
Listener reviews starts now.
Yeah, it is listener review, is it not?
Yep. Yeah.
I'm going to give it to you.
Okay.
Because I had something else pulled up.
Did you?
Yeah, I had my mad word.
Oh, I see. I get you.
Chris Dixon. Despite the fact that you boys sound like Beavis and Butthead. By the way, that's offensive.
Is it?
When you get the giggles, I appreciate all of your simple and solid insights to prepping. Keep up the great stuff.
I wonder if that's who's Beavis and who's Butthead.
I don't know. I haven't watched them enough because they're annoying. So
I see.
The fact that he listened long enough to say, "Oh, they sound like Beavis and Butthead," but I still listen.
Yeah,
I'll give it to him.
I love it
because I couldn't do the Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. If you guys want to be a part of this portion of the podcast, go to iTunes, go to Facebook, leave us a 5-star review, make it awesome.
It's a mad, mad world.
There are a few phrases that strike fear into my heart. One of those is giant venomous flying spiders.
Is that so? This can't be real. Is this real?
It is real
because that is nightmare fuel.
They're
sure.
set to spread across the East Coast.
So how do they fly? Do they?
I'll tell you
cast
how they
web
fly.
out?
I'll tell you how they fly.
I don't even know.
Yeah, the Northeast U.S. is bracing for an invasion of giant venomous spiders with 4-inch long legs that can parachute through the air.
Why do they have to be venomous ones?
I don't
can be
know.
like Daddy Longlegs.
Doesn't
I'd be
really
like,
matter.
fine.
So earlier this year, New Jersey Pest Control warned of the incoming New Jersey Pest Control. Is that just like a guy that owns a business in New Jersey?
You want me to spray your house?
You got a Joe Roll spiders coming.
Yeah.
They parachute on your face and spray venom in your mouth.
Just saying.
Just saying, yeah. Anyways, he warned of the incoming spiders, saying Joe Rogan? Joe Rowe spiders will be hard to miss as females have a leg span of up to 4 inches and are known for their vibrant yellow and gray bodies.
Vibrant yellow and gray. Okay.
Yeah, vibrant yellow and gray.
Watching for them today.
Anyways, what sets them apart is their ability to fly.
Ugh.
A trait uncommon among spiders, he says. While not accurate flight in the avian sense, Joro spiders utilize a technique known as ballooning, where they release silk threads into the air, allowing them to be carried by
more
the
balloons?
wind. Yeah. These are Chinese spy spiders. Okay.
So they're all just floating across the
They're just
ocean
like
right now,
floating.
heading to the U.S. in a big old swarm.
That's exactly what's happening. The creepiest, grossest swarm you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah,
right?
no, thank you.
So, anyways, those are on their way. And if you're on the East Coast, keep your eyes to the skies.
The airlines are like, spider strike, spider strike.
Spider strike, spider strike. Going down, mayday, mayday.
That's gross, man.
I know. Anyways, I just thought I'd talk about that because it was scary. You remember Arachnophobia?
Oh,
What a scary movie.
it's a very scary movie.
When I was little, it was a great movie. That was really good.
Isn't Jeff Bridges no.
John Goodman's in it? Is
Jeff
he?
Bridges is the main guy,
Is
isn't
he?
it?
I can't remember. I don't remember. If
Pretty sure it is.
Jeff
yeah.
and John. I don't know. It was a good movie.
Not Jeff Bridges. What am I thinking? It's
Oh,
the guy that looks like Bill Pullman.
Huh?
He always reminds me Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels. Yeah.
Jeff Daniels.
From Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, him and like Bill Pullman. I used to always think they were kind of the same dude.
Oh,
when I was
really?
younger.
That's
I don't know
interesting.
why.
Yeah. No. Anyways, Arachnophobia.
That's a great movie.
In real life.
Yeah. Kid that gets
Yeah.
the spider. That
No spoilers.
The spider that comes down. The
Oh,
girl
yeah.
that's showering.
Yeah.
I remember that part.
You do, don't you?
Sorry, honey.
Yeah.
Don't tell my wife that.
I won't let her know.
She'll skip over it. Probably
Mm.
listening at 3 times the speed anyway.
Couldn't even tell what you were saying.
Did you say something about a shower? Woman?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Spiders?
Talking about spiders.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys all haven't noticed, it's very hot outside.
Yeah.
And summer sucks. I hate it. It's the worst
Summer's the
season
worst.
of the
Everyone's
entire
like, I
year.
can't wait for summer.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. Sweating everywhere.
I hate it. You
is
can't
so
go
much fun.
outside. You
Mm.
don't want to go outside.
No.
Well, cheer up because a heat dome causing
What?
heat waves and extreme temperatures to linger in the western part of the country.
No.
What is a heat dome?
I don't know.
Happens when hot
It's my head when it
ocean
gets
air-
hot outside. I got a heat dome.
and getting all tired and weird.
Got this heat dome going on.
Yeah. It happens when hot air, ocean air gets trapped over a certain area due to high atmospheric pressures.
'Cause
heat
of HAARP?
domes and heat waves. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Often happen at the same time. The domes keep the raised temperatures around longer. Where'd it come from? The current heat dome affecting the United States is partly related to spiders flying through the air.
Yeah.
No.
Just trapping all the heat.
But it probably is HAARP, right?
Yeah. I would
To a
assume
similar
so.
phenomenon that has been taking place over Mexico, which is experiencing its worst drought in over a decade.
Okay.
So if any of you Mexicans are listening to this podcast,
Mhm.
I feel for you.
Mm-hmm.
We know about your drought.
Yeah, we
and
do.
we mentioned it.
¿Dónde
So,
está
good
el
luck.
agua? El agua no está aquí.
Man, he's so hot out here.
It's so hot out here. I don't know. Yeah, that's
I don't know,
crazy.
man.
It's a dome within a dome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who will be affected? So take note.
Mhm.
Las Vegas,
Oh, of course.
Arizona,
None of them go outside
California.
anyways.
I
So
know.
Californians do.
I know, seriously. San Francisco,
Okay.
Tracy, California, wherever that is.
These are like random places. So it's
But
not
yeah, so it's kind of West Coast, moving
Okay.
a little more into like Nevada. And all that
Vernal,
stuff.
Utah.
Basically, all the places I don't visit ever in the summer,
Mm-mm.
and probably outside of summer too.
No, you went to San Francisco.
But it's getting pretty bad. I know. Man, I actually like San Francisco.
Do you?
So
You would.
if any of you, if any of you are listening,
Yeah.
no, I didn't. I think the city's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't say the people were awesome.
Didn't you?
I said the city was
Okay.
awesome.
Better than LA?
But man, I'm not even gonna. Well, I will.
Okay.
I'll have to say that's the dirtiest place I've ever been in my life.
Ugh. Yeah.
So
It's not great. All right. So let's get into.
heat dome,
Yeah.
tropical heat dome.
Yeah, I like it. It's got a little jingle
Yeah.
along with it. 20 things preppers do that piss us off. Look, the internet is a wide, vast place full of people that I don't like, mostly.
Exactly.
Some of them I do like, but a lot of them I don't. And
Usually the commenters are not the ones you like.
really, yeah. And so we've seen a lot of this over the years. Tomorrow, specifically, is our 8-year anniversary podcasting about, because this actually is going to come out a week later because I'm going on vacation. Doesn't really matter. Anyways, tomorrow is 8 years. Over those 8 years, we have seen a lot of people. We have heard a lot of people. We've seen a lot of talk, a lot of bull crap, a lot of stupid stuff, a lot of
Had
great stuff.
emails,
Emails.
hate emails.
Emails, comments, reviews, people talking to other people. I don't like them mostly.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is kind of being funny. Well, this doesn't. Most of these things don't necessarily piss us off too much. I mean, they kind of do. We're just kind of being funny here, a little tongue in cheek.
It kind of pisses us off towards like the entire group of preppers,
Yes,
like what
exactly.
it does.
Yeah.
So
Yes, don't really
not
think
specifically only us.
don't think that we're just like really pissed off about most of this stuff. But it does piss us off from
just
time
get
to
up
time.
and walk out. I'm gonna finish this.
Never mind. I hate this podcast. So these are things that we've seen on the internet, in our hometown, on the television, everywhere else. Listening to on the radio. I don't know. Heat domes, outside of heat domes, spiders flying, no
Heat
spiders
dome.
flying. Heat domes. Anyways, let's just start with number one, and this is probably the biggest one, right? It really pisses us off when preppers look down on those who are new preppers or preppers who don't take prepping as seriously as they do.
I think this is the best number one because it does infuriate me.
Oh, I get so mad.
Especially, and the nice thing is our group has kind of filtered those buttholes out.
They really have.
And so
this is
they
why
don't let it happen.
I love the casual preppers community online on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or wherever it is, because they don't
don't put up
allow
this
this to
crap.
happen anymore.
Yeah.
Used to happen quite
No
a bit.
one should.
Yeah. It's my number one pet peeve. That's why I put it as number one. When you a new prepper, or even just like a less experienced prepper is online or something, they ask a question or they show what they've been working on, or they start a conversation about preparedness or a related topic, and like those holier than thou pieces of garbage prepper just pulls down their pants and takes a crap right on their face. And not in a good way.
It's a good way.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not good. There's just no need.
I want to
for
crap
it.
on your face, but no offense.
Yeah, no
I'm gonna do it
offense.
in a nice way.
No offense, but I want to take a dump right on your nose.
Not to dump on your face, but I
I'm
want to
gonna
tell you
dump on your
something.
face.
Yeah.
There's just no need for it, man. It's one of the biggest reasons that Cam and I started Casual Preppers.
Yeah.
Like, we wanted a place where anyone, whether or not they're a seasoned prepper or a new prepper, whatever their mindset is, whatever their skill level, their financial level, whatever it is, we want them to come and learn and to be more prepared without having to deal with that, because it pushes people away
It does.
from preparedness.
Yeah. It makes people angry. And I always
does.
bring up the story of like when our wives went to that like local prepper group.
Yeah.
The one that's eating bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bacon deodorant.
That
he makes in his
dehydrated
basement.
bacon deodorant.
And, the nice thing is he was sharing his information, but he's super intense about it. He's like, come over here, I'll kill you. And just kind of a little more offensive and aggressive about his prepping.
And it made
which
them
is-
not want to do it or discuss it anymore. Like, it pushed
my
them.
wife doesn't want to make
She
deodorant
hates
anymore.
preppers.
So
She hates preppers now. You know what I mean? I mean, the thing is, there is a billion different ways to get prepared. There's no one like, this is the way you have to do
Exactly.
it. Right. And it's always good to give input or to help with ideas, or even to give, feedback, but positive in some way, right? I mean, or negative, like a constructive criticism. That's okay, but you don't have to be a dick.
No.
When you do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's very simple
It's
to do
not
it.
helpful.
You know what I mean?
And I mean, that applies to like everything. Those
really
does.
does.
A lot of those, like
Yeah.
the criticism that comes in comments from videos and stuff. It's like
Yeah.
very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. That was awesome, right? What those seasoned preppers are doing are pushing like the normal everyday people away from prepping, because they're like, I don't want to deal with these idiots. This is not fun for me. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to learn, or I'm just sort of getting into it, and they're just really turning me off on it. And sometimes these are, people like us, sometimes even, that are doing a podcast about prepping. Sometimes they're a YouTube channel about prepping. Sometimes they're just, the keyboard warrior that's on there.
That has to
You
just
know,
comment
yeah.
on everything.
You can't do that.
Yeah. That shelf's
You know.
too high. Kids can't reach the water.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
If that falls on your lamb, it's gonna kill it. Have lamb chops in there. It's so stupid. You know what I mean? It's like always some stupid. Yeah, that's supposed to be the.
Because they can't
keyboard.
like,
Yeah,
you're like,
this sounded worse. It
chicken
sounded like
pecking
you
it.
were going. Never mind. Anyways, it really pisses us off.
yeah, it does.
That's number one.
It's It still bugs me. And it
It does.
doesn't bug me about the comment towards me. I'm just like, this isn't helpful for anybody that's
I know.
watching this.
Yeah.
If we post a video on a knife or something, it's like, or just recently when I posted, I don't know, that might have been a joke though. When I posted about those bullets.
I don't remember.
They're like Browning 9mm, you ain't gonna get, you ain't stopping power at all.
I think that was real. It might have been. I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah. So if you're listening,
But yeah.
I'm like, rolled my eyes at it. Didn't offend me because I was like, maybe he's joking because he mentioned 5.56.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like those comments.
I
It's
know.
like,
yeah.
yep, that's what I bought it for, is to kill another human. That's all I was buying it for.
Yep. Exactly.
Anyway. Number 2, it really pisses us off when preppers are on like full conspiracy overload.
Yeah.
So, the thing is, you see those pictures of preppers and they have like the tinfoil hats.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's kind of the thing that everybody thinks of when they
Sure.
think of preppers. It's
Yeah.
like, man, they are into conspiracies heavy.
Yeah.
Listen, before I go on any further,
Yeah.
conspiracies are super fun.
Yes.
And that's why we talk about them.
Yes.
And there does tend to be a tie, like, you know, a bond with preppers and conspiracies.
Yeah, man. We're one and the same sometimes.
But what we're saying is the preppers that are just so hell bent on like a conspiracy to where it just like drives everything they do, they say.
Yep.
Oh, I can't take it. Cause I mean, like I have close family members that I'm just like, man, they are buying into everything, like the election stuff.
Yep.
And it's just like, we got to get more guns. We're going to have to fight for our freedom. And I'm just like, holy cow.
Yeah, that you're taking away all our hot pockets.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to kill
They
some
just
people.
they're just so like
Yeah.
convinced by everything they've listened to on TikTok
Mm-hmm.
that they're like, man, you're dumb if you're not following along with this. Like, you're not
Yeah.
a true prepper.
Look
if
into
you're-
it. Look it up yourself. You just got to
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
misinformed.
none of them can like support any of their
Yeah.
ideas, but they
But
believe
you're
it.
always misinformed if you don't know it
Yeah.
or believe it.
And then,
right?
you know, it
Yeah.
could be government control or 5G or
Yeah.
more guns because government's going to take them away
5G,
next
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Just some of those extreme things aren't really helpful in building up the prepper community.
Yeah.
They give us this bad look, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the stigma that follows preppers is because of this crap.
And I get it because look, maybe we're doing that because of the way
Yeah.
that we like to talk about. But if you listen to us talk about conspiracies for more than 2 minutes,
you realize
you realize
we're doing it for fun.
it's fun, right?
Yeah.
We were not like stocking our
If you
shelves
think we believe it,
because of it.
then you have
Yeah.
been, you know.
Hell, I don't know. I believe some of
There's
them.
some of them.
Okay, let's not go that
yeah,
far.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, like,
aliens are real, by the way.
My preparedness doesn't get tied back to any one conspiracy in any way.
Same.
And that's like what we're talking about here is like
In
their
general,
whole-
we are preparing for like the personal apocalypse
Exactly.
and things that could happen in job loss. You know, all that common stuff. We like to add a little trickle in a little conspiracy theory to make it more exciting.
So much
it's
fun.
like we're preparing for
Yeah.
you know a world-ending meteor. But in reality, you know, or the reptilians are going to take over again. It's funner and
It really
it's
is.
funnier.
It is.
But there are some that they truly believe some of this crazy stuff and they sound crazy. Like, and no one that, like, there's so many people we've talked to that, or I've talked to that are like, oh, you're a prepper? Do you have a bunker and believe that aliens are going to take over? And I'm like, yes, but
I don't have a bunker, but yes, aliens will take over.
Yeah.
That's
But it's like, it's
Yeah.
funny. They jump to the extremes every time. They're like, you got a bunch of guns and a bunker and you believe the aliens are going to take over. And I'm like, yeah, one of those is true, but the other two, no, I don't.
no, exactly.
But it's just like, it really bugs us when those are like,
yeah.
or we've mentioned conspiracy and they get all pissed off because they're like, you're not taking it serious.
I know.
The chemtrails are real.
I know.
you
It's like, okay, well,
so
is what it is.
that's one of the things that bothers us about some of the prepping community is just a little bit too convinced of
Yeah.
their own poor research.
Yeah. And let's go to number 3 because it kind of ties back to this in some way a little bit, what you were talking about. It really pisses us off when preppers aren't having fun with prepping.
Yeah. It's too serious.
Oh my gosh. And here's the thing. Look, I get it. It's a serious thing. Preparedness is a serious thing. but you don't have to be Mr. Colonel Serious all the time when it comes to, you know what I mean? Salute to Colonel Serious right now. I don't know. That's what I came up with on the spot. Maybe I should
Sergeant Serious.
Sergeant Serious. God, that's perfect. Yes, Sergeant Serious. God, I was like Major General, and I went to
Colonel Sanders. Colonel Serious Sanders.
Yeah. Gosh dang it, Sergeant Serious. That's perfect. Anyways, like you don't have to make it this, even though in a sense it is life and death.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this life and death struggle every single day when it comes to prepping.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
What I'm trying to say is like you can have fun with this. Like
If it wasn't, I wouldn't do it.
I would not either.
It is fun, and at the same time you're like like you're keeping your family safe, and you're prepared for a disaster. Oh man, it's amazing just talking about that.
It sure is.
Just thinking about why we do it.
Yeah, it's like it's so funny because there's a lot of people in the preparedness community. If they see people just like enjoying and laughing, it's like they're not prepared.
Yeah,
they're not.
We've
serious.
had a lot that are like,
so
"Oh,
much.
you guys are preppers," and they'll listen. They're like, "Well, you kind of like joke around a lot."
That's not
It's
funny.
Like, well,
these are serious topics, and they need
we've had
serious
people
discussion.
accuse us that it's like you downplay it too much. It's not.
Look, the thing is, I've found out in my life over these 43 years that I've been alive, when I'm having fun, when I'm playful, when I'm doing things in a kind of a lighthearted way, I learn better. I retain knowledge better, and I enjoy it, and I continue to do it for a longer amount of time.
Yeah.
And so that's why we feel like you don't need to be Sergeant Serious all the time, saluting to the flag of Seriousville. You know, you gotta have fun with this.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay to have fun with prepping.
Yeah, for sure. I do think people take it way too serious.
Yeah, it pisses me off sometimes.
And it's like it is important, but stop being a douchebag.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 4, it really pisses us off when preppers are unwilling to share knowledge.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those out there that are like, they will comment and criticize, but they will not share a single thing that they've learned.
Yeah.
Because somehow you're going to learn the combination code to their
it's
their
like
gun safe.
They've learned the secrets of the prepping gods, and they have to keep it close to the vest.
We don't need more preppers around here.
Heck no. We can't do that.
I don't understand that, but it's pretty common. Like OPSEC, it's important. We understand that, but some take it to such a ridiculous level that it's like, who are you helping?
Yeah, no.
And in the end, our main goal for this podcast is the more people that are prepared, the better off everyone is.
Yeah.
It's not just like you
spread
alone.
the wealth, man.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to help my neighbors.
No.
I want them to be prepared.
I want them to help themselves.
Exactly.
In some ways, if I can tell them how to do that.
So that's what's so funny about it is when they're like, I'm not telling you how I store water. It's like, why?
And a lot of times it's because in their mind, if they're telling people, if they're giving people this information, they're giving away
they
they are a prepper.
And
Yeah, you know, and I get it in some ways, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Really.
But I really, you really can. I mean, look at us. We share everything.
Look at his partner.
You guys know everything about us.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of people are like, "Oh, you really you're not really a prepper." And it's like, who says we're not a prepper?
Whatever.
You know, where's the rule book? It's like, gotta practice. Rule number 1 in prepping: don't tell anyone you're a prepper.
Yeah,
that's not true.
Rule number 2 of prepping: don't tell anyone you're a prepper. Right.
Number 3: be promoted to Sergeant Serious.
Sergeant Serious is our God and Savior.
Yeah.
Lead us to victory.
But you really can share. That's the thing I love about our group. Like the casual preppers, is everybody shares the things that they're doing and the things they've learned. Like our main goal, again, is to share the knowledge that we've learned and what we've learned from other people and things that we've tried and realized don't work. And everything's different for, the location you're in and the place you're in. Not everybody has a bunker. Not everybody has tinfoil to make that hat.
It's all aluminum foil now.
Not everybody believes the 5G is going to kill us all.
Yeah.
So we're here to teach you.
I was spreading that COVID around pretty hard there for a while.
But building, exactly. But building prepper stopped somehow.
I know.
Just shut down. But we still got 5G
They
on my phone.
upgraded the towers.
Yeah. The 5G got tweaked a little bit. But building prepper communities makes everyone stronger.
Yep.
I mean, that's our whole goal is the more that are prepared, the better everyone is because like we can't be the single prepper in our community. It's just not going to
Yeah,
work.
we got to spread that knowledge like warm butter on a hot roll.
It's exactly what we're
Okay.
doing.
Okay. Number 5. It really pisses us off when preppers disregard any government information or help.
That's a big one.
It really is, man. And this
I can understand.
I can understand it in some ways because the
But-
government does not have the best track record of being super trustworthy as a whole, as an entity, right?
Yeah.
And we kind of are built into us as a prepper this bit of a mistrust of the government, and which I get, it's totally understandable, but you got to realize that not every, like, government is just people.
Yeah.
Right? When it comes down to it, it's just a whole bunch of people. You're a person. I'm a person. Even if I work for the government, I'm still a person, you know?
You're just a bad person.
I'm just a bad person that should die, go to hell directly. But
You're
no,
out to take my preps. I
that's
understand.
all I want to do. As soon as I get that government job, that retirement, that's what it does.
I mean, look at the
to you.
list of all the preppers that we
I
have
know.
in the community.
But yeah, and I totally get it, but not everybody, not all the people and not all the programs, not all the entities out there in the government are out there with bad intentions. You know, they're
No.
just not. And this kind of comes back to that conspiracy thing a bit too, right? There are some programs, there are some groups within the government that you can rely on for really good information
Yeah.
and for assistance when you need it, right? As soon as you say FEMA, I get
I just
it.
want to punch the screen.
Cam is over there just losing his crap. I can see it. His eyes are wiggling. His eye
I'm
is
not doing
wiggling.
this.
Yeah, I hate this place. And they don't have the best record, but they do have information. They do have some functions that can really help you out in a crisis when it comes down to it. Like they've got these apps that are going to give you great emergency alerts. Like that's not fake. It's real.
Right.
Right. A CDC. Okay.
Just
you don't
make
trust
sure
them.
you use a VPN or Surfshark
Exactly.
or something when you go to their website
Yeah,
because
100%.
you're going to instantly track everything you
Yeah.
do.
The
Somebody wants to be a prepper? Mark them.
Yeah, they're marked forever. The CDC, that one I get pretty tough post-COVID.
They did not. Yeah,
They didn't
They
have
didn't sell
themselves,
themselves well
right?
on all this.
But here's like, when it comes down to the more local level, even like your local emergency management office, man, those guys are there just to help you specifically.
Seriously.
They're there to do whatever they can to make sure that you're safe in an emergency and your entire town is safe.
Yeah.
So why not rely on them? It just pisses me off. It's like, oh, that's government. I don't trust one thing they say.
Yeah.
You know? And
They have done a lot of testing.
Yeah.
They have been through a lot.
Yeah.
If we didn't have a government in this country, we wouldn't have a country. So.
Yeah, it's true. Right. Yeah. So I think there's a happy medium that you can get at to where you can trust some of that information and utilize it for your own good and for your own safety. Don't be a dum-dum.
Seriously. It's a
Okay.
mess. I get it.
Yeah.
But that PDF isn't going to ruin your life.
Hopefully not. I don't know.
I can't take it.
Yeah.
Number 6, it really gets us worked up when preppers focus too much on bugging out and not enough on bugging in.
Yeah.
We've talked about this a lot, and even in our scenarios, it almost always comes back to bugging in.
Yeah.
Plan A.
Mm-hmm.
But bugging out is sexy. It's attractive, and it kind of makes preppers stand out. Of I'd have to say one of the most common questions I get in the public is like if people ask me about what do you got for a bug out bag or what's your bug out? It's always something about bugging out.
It is. Yep.
And I understand it's cool and it's a concept that not a lot of people understand, but preppers. But I think a lot of people think that's our like primary focus.
Sure.
And some preppers it is.
In some
they're just full on like I'm getting out of Dodge. I'm not going to stay in town and go live off the land, or they haven't, like I
most of the time.
most of the
going to
time.
live off the land.
I'd have to say like that was my misunderstanding about bugging out, as I thought it was like leave town, go up in the wilderness, eat locust and molasses, put a bunch of rocks out, heat them up, sleep at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound bad.
No, it sounds cool. It sounds
Yeah.
manly, and I can see why men are attracted to it, and women too.
Yeah.
It just sounds like you're the ultimate outdoorsman, But,
Or lady. Outdoors lady.
Outdoors lady. Yeah.
Outdoors person.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing is, it's going to be the hardest way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to leave the comfort and safety of your home, especially with a family, and bug out, like no matter if it's going to a hotel or another home, which is the better plan, and going into the wilderness is even harder. Like that plan is going to be so much more difficult and so much more risky.
Yeah.
Like it's one you have to have, but it's not the one I want to take.
And like the thing that pisses me off is this when preppers just like, no, you have to bug out. You have to bug out. You have to bug out.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
There are a lot of them that say
no, like that.
Even
is
for
not true.
urban preppers, it's like it makes the most sense, and you probably would want to get out of those areas, but
you don't have to.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
No. In a lot of cases, like most scenarios are going to blow over, after 5, 10 days. So it's like
99.5%.
you just abandon everything and, So, we don't like when that is the primary focus.
Yep.
It's cool. It's part of the plan, but it's not the primary plan. It's not the primary focus.
Yep.
And, so.
Number 7, this one gets me going. Like it gets my motor running pretty hard. It really pisses us off when preppers focus only on long-term SHTF preparedness.
Yeah.
I come across this more than probably any of this.
Yeah.
Especially on discussions via social media and whatnot. Like I'll post something about, some piece of gear. And a lot of times it comes back to I'll talk about an app or something that I like that's for preparedness. Maybe I'll talk about, my vehicle that I'm bugging out in that isn't necessarily EMP proof or something. And I cannot tell you how many times I get a comment that is useless when the EMP hits.
Yeah.
That is useless when there's a solar flare and that, it's going to be useless 5 months after. And I'm like, all right. Like, I understand
That's such a huge turnoff for people getting into prepping.
Oh my gosh.
It's like I can't compete with it. There's no way I can build a plan like this right off the bat.
Yeah.
So they just don't.
It's
they
like
don't start anything.
Their entire brain, the entire time they think about preparedness, is focused on this long-term SHTF total grid down scenario where anything that's practical for everyday preparedness is useless. So why even talk about it?
Yep.
Right? And I get so
Everything's gonna
frustrated.
fail.
Yes.
Everything's gonna fall apart.
You can't rely on anything.
Everything you do, yeah.
Don't use a phone.
Don't live in a house.
Don't live in a house.
It's made of wood. It's gonna burn.
He's gonna
fall
blow
down.
over. Like
it is.
It's so frustrating because everything is long term. It's like those are gonna run out. You can't. Why are you even worried about you having those things on hand?
Yeah.
They'll run out. And I'm like, okay, why are you using a lighter? You got to be able to use your breath and a stick to start a fire. And I'm like, why? I have one here.
It's true.
Like, because those are going to run out.
It's instantly back to the Stone Age.
Yeah.
And you have to be,
because
that's what you're going to be doing.
Because their focus
that's
is
the only preparedness that you should be preparing for.
A year into this Mad Max scenario.
Only preparedness you should be doing, yep.
Yeah. And so I get so freaking frustrated. And I think it's a lot of the reason why over the years we've had such a focus on your personal apocalypse, because it's like it's everyday stuff that is most likely going to happen.
Yeah.
And it has very little focus on this long-term SHTF stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where should you spend the majority of your time and effort when you're doing preparedness? It is on those everyday things.
Yeah.
Those are the things that happens all the time. There are those preppers out there that the only thing they can think about is this crazy, fantastical, long-term, world-ending scenario, and that's what preparing is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to go along with that, I don't think this necessarily pisses me off as much, but it's frustrating just to hear it's like, I went and bought, like $4,000 of Patriot pantry or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's all they've done.
That's all.
It's just like, that's not prepping.
I mean, I guess it's a great little insurance policy,
but that's the only insurance policy.
That's it. Yeah. So anyways, it pisses me off so bad, and I deal with it so often that maybe I should have put this number 1 because it really does upset me. This one really pisses me off.
My blood pressure's super high right now. All I see is red.
I'm feeling upset.
Take a sip of this
Here's
drink.
The thing. This drink right here, it's going to help me because electrolyte deficiency, electrolyte imbalance, they can cause headaches, cramps, fatigue, weakness, anger, probably, Okay? It's people who want to be prepared and ready for anything. The last thing that you need is something that will slow you down when you need to be ready the most. That's why we at Casual Preppers have teamed up with our friends at Element. It is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything you need and nothing that you don't. We think Element is perfect for bug-out bags and EDC kits because it contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio, 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. The cool thing is, Casual Preppers listeners can get a free Element sample pack when you make any drink mix purchase through our exclusive Casual Preppers link. That's one packet of every flavor for completely no monies. And that's what we like.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, so the cool thing about it, too, you can get it the first time, the second time, the third time, fifth time, 100th time that you order. Get it every single time. As long as you use our link, that's drinklmnt.com/casualpreppers. You're going to get your order. You're going to get that free sample pack. You might even be able to go over and get you some Element Sparkling. This is the stuff we're drinking right here that keeps us going and keeps us thinking straight.
It does.
During the podcast.
I read better when I drink it.
Makes us funnier. Makes us better looking, I heard, even.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Says our wives only.
Says our wives only. Mostly my mom says I'm good, handsome.
I don't even know if my wife would say that.
Yeah, my wife said exactly. Yeah.
He's a man. And he's got a face.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have him.
He's here.
He brings money home. It's good. He's a great person.
I guess, yeah.
Great human being.
Mows the lawn. It's great. I like it.
He drinks water and he lives and he eats food.
I know he's got clothes in the house as well.
I've been washing them.
I wash them for him.
Drives me nuts, but
yep.
Yeah. So I don't know how the commercial turned into that.
It is what it is.
This really pisses us off too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Disparage the urban prep. Oh
preppers.
The urban preppers, man.
Yeah.
Look, we all know urban preppers are special and don't have what it takes.
Our special little
and
friends.
make poor decisions to stay in a city.
Yeah.
But look, leave them alone. No, just kidding.
People are such dicks to urban preppers.
They are.
I
They're
don't
like,
like it.
why do you live in a city? You can't be a prepper if you live in a city.
Yeah.
They don't believe that. Like, they're like, no, can't have a bunker under a, sky rise.
And then they turn around and they salute Sergeant Sirius.
Exactly.
And,
Sir, what do you think of these people?
Yeah, what's our mission here, sir?
Yeah.
What shall I do?
But we've learned a lot from urban
Oh my
preppers.
gosh.
Like,
Our man Cliff, the urban prepper.
seriously.
Dude, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's the
'cause
best.
It would be extremely hard.
Yeah.
But listen, the world revolves around people working in cities.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have a lot of the things we have.
probably
It's
wouldn't
like
have his
not
microphone.
everybody can work
Yeah.
in a rural location. or
Wyatt
live.
from the country ain't building this microphone for me.
Exactly.
Wyatt.
Yeah.
Is that a country name?
Wyatt.
I came up with Wyatt. Daryl?
IFA ain't making microphones
they're
for
not.
podcasts.
And they're probably in a big city anyway.
They probably are. Headquarters is in a big city for sure.
Iowa City, Iowa. Is that a big city?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So listen, like the majority of people live in the city.
Yeah.
Better pay, lots more jobs,
More bagels.
more bagels.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get it why
Yeah.
people live there. I'm sure all of us have a family member that lives in the city.
Yeah.
So
We don't talk to them, but we got them.
we don't own them.
Yeah.
We hate them.
They're not really in
They're
my
not
family.
part of our family. Yeah.
They are blood, but they're not part of my family.
But really, a lot can be learned from the urban preppers.
Right.
And like, I feel like their plan has to be even more detailed and even more like,
They're better preppers in a way.
in a way, yeah.
Yeah.
They know how to utilize the minimal space that they have. And like, so tons can be learned from them.
And bless their souls for living with all those people.
Yeah.
Oh,
Seriously.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't know either.
I go to the city for one day and I become a different person. I'm not the same person I was when I went into the city.
That is the truth, man.
I hate humanity after about 6
My
hours.
parents live like northern Utah.
Yeah.
And I have to go through the worst part of Utah, which is
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake. Wasatch Front has turned into LA to me.
Whoa, that bad, huh?
Not that dirty and disgusting
No.
and stinky.
No.
All
it
the
is
LA
smoggy,
listeners
though.
are done.
They-
I
yeah.
don't think they're still listening anyway.
Nope.
But
Nope.
it is such a nightmare, and I get stuck in traffic, and I'm just like peeling the leather off from, well, not even the leather, the fake cloth on my stairs.
Exactly, yeah.
Get super mad.
Yeah.
But seriously, like, there are a ton of people that live in the city that are very good preppers. They're very smart, and we shouldn't, we shouldn't cast them out of our club.
No.
They know their stuff.
They're awesome.
So
Leave 'em alone.
that's annoying when they get
man.
bashed. It's like, well, you can't be a true prepper because you don't have a farm and a bunker and live underground.
Exactly.
Nor do we.
Nor do we. Nope. Number 9. Boy, it really pisses us off when preppers are overly suspicious of others.
Yeah.
You know, and we
Wait, why do you say that?
What are you?
What are you implying?
Don't look at my face. Don't look at me. Don't look.
Yeah.
I'm going home. Don't look.
Yeah.
They get so
Somebody's
paranoid.
following us, honey. We got to go all the way around town.
Oh my gosh, it's like everybody is a CIA agent out to figure out where your preps are or where you live or what your ideas about something are. It's, oh my gosh, they become like these prepper hermits that can't talk to nobody about nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're the same ones that aren't sharing the information.
Yeah,
and
these are the same people. Just
trash talking the urban preppers.
This is all just one guy that we know. We hate this dude. It's like, if we talk about our preps online, which we do pretty much every week.
Yeah,
right.
we do.
We will almost always get this comment or a message to us like, you guys are opening yourself up. Everybody's going to steal your stuff and murder your kids and rape your dogs. And I'm like,
I didn't see that comment.
See that one? No. Well,
it was like just recently, like I finished that bookshelf hidden door.
Yeah.
Hidden door bookshelf mainly just to make the basement look better.
Hey.
But everybody's like, I know where it is. I can see the door frame. You're an idiot.
I know, man.
And I'm like, I really didn't build it to hide everything. I just think it looks nicer.
Yeah, it looks nice. And
But
it's just kind of cool.
This is just like,
yeah.
This type of people that are overly suspicious, they're like, man, you just showed everything. I know exactly where to go.
Do you know, it's like, and it's funny because they really think that like I post about a new water barrel or something, right? On
How
social media.
Where's it at?
Yeah. And so what in their mind, there's a dude in Arkansas
that's
who
writing it all
saw
down.
my post. He wrote this down, wrote my name down. He researched online where Vernal, Utah is, where I might live within Vernal, Utah. He printed out MapQuest, how to get here. So now, once the world
Easy
goes to hell.
55 gallons.
Yeah.
Colby
Conrad out in Vernal, Utah. And so now, once it goes down, he knows exactly where to go to
It's
get
so
him
crazy
some water.
that people do believe that like people are making a list of all these like preppers that are sharing information on social media.
And like I understand the OPSEC and I get it. Like you don't want to be just like throwing your address around or whatever it is, but there's preppers who refuse to even talk to their neighbors or their friends and their family
there's tons of them.
about preparedness because they think, once the Russians are coming in on parachutes and the solar flare takes out the grid, they're going to take my oatmeal.
Yeah.
It's like...
Because I told you
about preparedness.
About the stuff I have.
I mean, I get it. Have your basic caution. Know who you're talking to. But
everybody around you already knows.
Yeah, don't pretend like you have this weird secret knowledge that you got from like a prepper pyramid in Egypt or something that you've gotten off a scroll and wrote it down in your basement.
Over everybody's eyes.
Oh my gosh,
nobody knows,
dude. It's just preparedness. Okay, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one though, because it's like, man, there are some that are so paranoid.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Why you here?
What?
The mailman, he's all punching him. Get out of here.
Last time
Case of the joint.
My porch. Ain't gonna do that again.
Or is it my porch? Get out of here.
I mean, the porch that I currently reside on. You don't know if this is where I live.
My house is somewhere in this neighborhood. Get out of here.
And the mailman's delivering him long-term food storage.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, gosh,
I'll poke your eyes out.
I'll stick my pig on you. Boy.
You didn't see anything. Get out of here.
That ain't a pig, that's a dog. Have I confused you yet?
Survival food for the chickens, okay? Get out of here.
I feed it to my chicken. High calorie, high nutrients. Nutrients? That's for a cow.
Nutrients. Oh, man. I love how you just played that so smooth.
It's just Element, man. Makes me think quick.
That was super quick. Like it was like you wrote it down somewhere.
Hell. Anyways.
Nutrients. That's from my cows. Survival nutrients. Oh, that's awesome.
Crap.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't laugh. We're preppers.
You can't have fun, boys. Sergeant Serious
This is
showing
not
up.
serious. I don't like
Yeah.
it. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So it does really piss us off when preppers ignore the importance of physical fitness.
Oh, don't tell me that.
We harp on this a lot
We do, don't we?
because you can have all the bug out bags you want, all the guns, but if you're on 20 meds to stay healthy
Yeah.
and you don't, ever run or exercise, none of it matters.
No.
Like,
No.
even if you don't have to bug out, you're not going to live very long.
You're going to tie those bags to your rascal and go till the battery dies.
Yeah. Yeah. You've seen plenty of those memes where it's like this big old, Bubba.
Yeah.
That's like 400 plus pounds, but
Yeah.
has an armor plate that covers one nipple.
Yeah.
And he has like a
He's got-
AR-15.
and he's got usually it's like his little tiny 22 rifle that looks like a giant that's holding on to a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to make it very long.
No.
Because there's so much that goes into physical fitness.
Yeah.
Not just the physical look that your wife or your husband loves, but it's going to keep you alive a lot longer. And so many preppers are all about all.
To be honest, I don't think my wife gives a crap about what I look like. To be honest with you,
either. She
I
says it
just
all the time.
I just like.
She's like, "You're weird, eyes. Fine, I like it."
Well, you got a body? I haven't even noticed yet.
That big cavity in your front tooth doesn't bother me one bit. I still love you.
You got 3 dead teeth. It's not a big deal. All right. I've seen worse.
3 dead teeth. Oh my gosh. This is the most unserious prepper podcast I've ever listened to.
Yeah.
But yeah. So where was I at? Oh, physical fitness.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a struggle to do. It's the hardest, the hardest thing to do as just a person in general.
It's not easy.
But as a prepper, you can't buy your physical fitness. You can't just go down to Shields and buy 6 physical fitness packs for your family.
That'd be great if you could.
Oh man, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
But it's hard. I understand. This is something that I fought. I'm on and off with this, and it's one of the hardest things. Luckily, genetically, I don't gain weight because I'd be 600 pounds easy
me too,
with my
dude.
physical fitness and the way I eat. But people do struggle with that. But it's very important. It's a huge part of your prepping plans. If you're not physically fit, the stresses on your body, the mental health, it's just not going to work. So don't ignore it. And I hate people that do. It's like that doctor that's like, you need to lose some weight, and he can't see his shoes.
Oh, I know.
And he's like, you probably lose weight, you're overweight. There's a lot of doctors like that. Come wheeling in the rascal. You need to start walking more.
These labs are telling me you ain't healthy.
It's from my labs. Hold on.
Never mind. That's the doctor just sent those over to me.
But really, it's a huge part. And it's overlooked a lot. And you can tell usually by the way they look in their videos that they're just not fit.
It is what it is.
So buying stuff's easy.
Oh, buying stuff's easy. Yeah. Let's see. Buying stuff's easy.
Buying stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 11. It really pisses us off when preppers neglect emergency plans.
3 dead teeth.
Look, man, it's a personal pet peeve probably. Just because I love an emergency plan.
Oh yeah, you
gets
harp
me
on this
going.
big
I
time.
love it, right? It's like there's these preppers, they have more gear than they could possibly store in their entire life. They are, their skill tree is decked out like they're Chuck Norris. But they haven't taken an hour to draw up an emergency plan for their family.
Their family has no idea they're even a prepper.
No, because they don't tell nobody either because they're paranoid that his wife's going to eat all his food.
Seriously.
Right? But it's like, take an hour, drop this plane, man. It's like, for me, it's first step. This is first step. And it's almost as important as getting your food ready.
It really is.
Because, you know what I mean?
That's the one thing I regret more than anything is not starting from scratch, writing and organizing everything into the plan.
For sure, man.
It's like, I was buy a bunch of stuff and put it in there.
Yeah. It's like, and don't think that you can just wing it when a crisis hits and you're trying to communicate with your family.
My kids know to get a hold of me.
Yeah.
My wife won't even answer a text.
No.
So,
and she's got the freaking watch that tells her every time I text her. And I'm like,
I know it's buzzing.
I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah.
There's something's lost. But it's going to be...
I'll get texted 2 seconds later, I'll reply, nothing.
Yeah, I know.
I don't get it. I'm like, you just had it in your head. You're just looking at it.
And I get frustrated sometimes because, like, babe, I love you. But it's like she'll get a text and she's like, oh, yeah, I forgot they texted me. I'm like, why didn't you text them back? Well, I was kind of in the middle of something. I'm like, well, take 3 seconds and say, K. Or like something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it.
I do that sometimes, though. I'll give it to her.
She's going to get mad at me. Sorry, babe.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I just admitted I do it, too.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah.
I need a reminder thing. That's the one thing I'm like, come on, Apple.
What
Like,
should
release the
remind you?
things to be like, snooze for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Retext me.
Retext you. Yeah.
Because I can't type okay, but I can slide.
But you can say,
snooze.
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense.
Not everybody's as organized as you, Kobe.
Well, it's not organized. It's just picking up my phone and going click, 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 send. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yep.
Order nutrients for cow.
Did a nutrients come today?
Yeah.
Honey, hey, hello, you there?
It's important to take the time, lay out these things beforehand. Go to redcross.org. Our friend, the preparedness guy, has one on his site. Take one evening, and it takes an hour. Get with your family, have that discussion. Do it once a year. You're done. Don't piss me off.
Done.
Done.
Yep. It really pisses us off when preppers focus solely on tactical gear and weapons.
I hate it. Pisses me off.
That was pretty good.
Was
You
it?
hung it right on there.
on the thing, huh?
But yeah, like that's kind of goes back to the fitness thing. Is like
Sure, yeah,
everybody's
it's part of it.
showing off their gear and the things that they've done, but you can tell that they have not eaten healthy for the last 45 years or done any fitness. They're just focused solely on the tactical gear and weapons.
Or anything like
And there's no
outside of
food
it.
and there's no water.
Yeah.
It's like that is one I know of several people that are
yeah.
just like
a lot of people.
they have probably spent $20,000 to $30,000 in like
Firearms.
fully automatic shotgun and grenades and stuff. But I know for a fact they don't even have
Fully automatic
they don't
shotgun.
even have 20 gallons of water stored anywhere on their property.
Yep.
It blows my mind. And this happens all the time.
For sure.
It's like I'll
It's
just
gonna
buy
blow
all the
your mind.
gear and the gear will make water out of the air.
Well, the thing you usually hear is all I need is my gun.
Oh yeah, you just go
and
get it
all
from
your
anybody.
stuff is mine.
Yeah, because I saw
That
your
should have
post
been-
yesterday.
That should have been one of ours.
What?
That we hate, that pisses us off. People are like,
It's
I got
all
my
yours.
gun.
That should have been a good
so
one.
it's mine.
Yeah. Yeah. I know where to go.
Let's know we're 21.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there that just focus only on gear and equipment and they don't even have food and water for like 5 days.
And it's mostly like the tactical stuff. And
Oh,
like
yeah.
in firearms. Like that's where you see it mostly.
Yeah, that's why there's a little chip on our shoulder about the gun critics
Sure.
because they're usually the ones that don't have anything but guns.
Yeah.
Not saying they're not good and don't have good guns and
Guns are cool.
but the most important aspects of prepping are lacking.
Yeah. Well, some people think that's untrue.
That's the
some
only
people
thing.
think the most important thing is guns. And
We'll
that's
just
fine.
take everybody.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Do what you
As
want.
soon as they come out with that dune thing that just sucks the water out of the body, these guys are set.
They are
They
set.
have guns and bags that extract water from bodies. Done.
Heck,
Nothing else you need.
you're right, Cam.
But yeah,
Okay.
that was nerdy to bring up Dune, wasn't it?
No, it's fine. It's all good. Number 13. It really pisses us off when preppers obsess over specific scenarios.
Oh, that's all the time.
Yeah, and
EMP
it's-
is probably the biggest one.
It is, for sure. And you see this a lot on shows like Doomsday Preppers, right? There's a group, there's a family, there's an individual, and the only thing they care about is this very specific scenario. Like, the New Madrid fault line's going to explode and we're all going to die in a fiery volcano, and that's why I'm prepping or whatever. And I get it.
Or that's why I don't prep, because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, yeah. But I get it. That doomsday preppers, they do that because it works for the show. But I've seen this a lot with listeners. I've seen this a lot with people online, commenting on stuff. Everybody gets like so fixated on like EMPs, right? Or a second civil war or something like that. Like that's the thing.
That's the only scenario that's kind of driven their plan, and there's nothing else.
And I'm kind of two ways about this, because like at least they're prepping, right? Like that's good. It's good to be getting prepared, but they can't. Their brain cannot, break off from this very specific thing to think about the everyday stuff that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like everything is like so.
They're still using a BlackBerry because they don't see the need to upgrade to anything.
Smoke signals to try and get a hold of their wife or something, right? Like, man, it's just like you need to do a risk assessment, and you're going to see that the EMP is not high on your list. It should be very low on the list, right? It's not likely. It can happen, but it's not a likely thing to deal with in this 85 years that you're going to be alive or whatever, right? So you have to prepare for many different types of situations, and it just pisses me off when people cannot look past the one thing.
Yeah.
That their little like pet project SHTF situation. Like, I don't care about.
There are a lot of them that's just the plan.
Yeah.
Is to focus on that one scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that pisses us off. This also pisses us off.
Yeah.
When preppers don't practice their bug out plans. So going back to the whole bug out thing, it's like that. There's ones that's the only plan, but then there's a lot that don't include practicing or going over or even planning out an escape. Or leaving. It's tough, especially with all of your family on board, to get them in, to go over these things, to have them actually take it seriously, and have it kind of drawn out. Like practicing is even harder. Yeah. I think, but it's important to go over it as a family, and we need to do it again. I'm guilty of this.
Me too.
But you don't want to be like, know. And like shut off all the lights in your house and be like, we gotta get going.
Yeah.
So
start a few little fires in the hallway, see how they react.
Have them walk through a cloud of pepper spray.
Yeah.
You gotta learn.
Couple of tripwires.
There's only one way to learn.
A couple of kids fall down the stairs.
Yeah. Take the butt of your gun to one of the kids' heads.
Yeah.
Oh, watch out.
Have a fake dead cat that looks like their cat. So that they have to deal with the emotional toll of that on top of everything, or just kill the cat, I guess.
Yeah, part of the plan.
You can always get another cat.
But really, like, the thing is, talking about all this, my wife's going to give me crap about this.
Is she?
Because we don't practice it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, and look, it's not necessarily just practicing.
Like, it's not like a drill.
Yeah, it's more of like, and this kind of comes back to the emergency plan. What does it look like if we have to leave?
Exactly.
Right? At least having that. I'm not saying that you really have to get everything, do the drill, drive out of town, get to your bug out location. Yeah. You should.
Yeah.
But at least, do the...
Everyone needs to know the plan. Yeah, where to go, where to meet up, who to try and call, where the lists are and stuff like that.
Call me.
If you have all of your food and your guns and ammo without a plan again, it's useless.
It is.
So it's really annoying when no one's really set a plan for bugging out or even a plan in general.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Listen, you know what is important? Self-reliant medical care.
Yep.
You can't overlook it.
Nope.
The Prepper's Medical Handbook by noted wilderness medicine expert and survivalist, the dude knows his stuff, is William Forgy. William W. Forgy, MD.
Yeah.
He provides the basis of prevention, identification, and long-term management of survivable medical conditions. Look, urgent cares are going to be closed. ERs are going to be swamped. You're going to have to know how to take care of your own family and yourself. This book is excellent for that. It's organized and easy to read. It's not full of a lot of confusing medical jargon. It's
like
gonna
ears
give you,
or elbow.
Yeah, seriously.
You gotta have a friggin' master's degree to understand that language.
Yeah. It's going to go over the basics of how to survive, how to take care of your family, and what to do when you can't and where to go, okay? it's an essential book to your prepper library. I really believe that. And so you should get it at preppersmedicalhandbook.com or amazon.com.
Do it.
There's a ton of medical guides out there. This one, I think, is essential because it's written so well.
Yeah, I agree.
So go get it.
Yeah. Number 15, it pissed me off when people don't have the Prepper's Medical Handbook. That's what we should have said.
Amen.
We should have just put all of our
Piss me
sponsors
off when
in
no
there.
one uses our sponsors.
Yeah, come on. Number 15, though. This one, oh boy, I cannot wait because it's already started a little bit, but it's
I don't
coming
even
even
want
hard.
you to mention the word.
Coming even harder. It really pisses us off when preppers make preparedness political.
It pisses me off when everything is made political.
Everything is political. Look, I've been guilty of this in the past. I'll take my lumps. I get it. Not necessarily with my preparedness, but just like kind of in general. But look, the older I get, the somewhat wiser I get, I've started to realize that I hate that stuff. And I'm better off without it.
Yeah.
I don't like any of it. And there are a lot of preppers.
It's too polarized now.
Oh my gosh. There's a lot of preppers who everything they do in preparedness ties directly back to politics. Like directly to politics.
Everything nowadays. Good
my
freak.
gosh. And I get it. Politics play a part in a lot of different things. In preparedness, it can as well. But look, if you're trying to bring new preppers into, the preparedness mindset, if you're looking to even widen your prepper network, if you're looking to be as prepared as possible, making politics the flag that you wave whenever preparedness comes up is not the way to do it.
And we know what flag that is. Just kidding.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. It really doesn't.
It doesn't.
It really does not matter. Okay. For us right now,
for saying that,
I don't care if you vote D, R, or I, or don't vote at all. It doesn't matter to me. Like it used to matter to me, but it just I don't care.
Yeah.
Like you do what you want to do. And right now there's a lot of people yelling at their phone, or their earbuds.
And I'm
their
not
earbuds.
saying like politics aren't important, like that we should just check out and not be part of it.
Sure.
But I want to.
I do so bad.
There are things that matter in it. But man,
they're using you, man.
Those people that I'm talking about, that are all guns and they don't prepare for it. They don't have a plan. They don't have any food and water. They are extremely political people. Like that's all they talk about. Every time I see them, I'm sick of it.
Yeah. And this goes on both sides of the aisle. I'm not joking you. It's Republicans, it's Democrats.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't matter.
100%.
I'm not calling out one of you.
We just lost listeners and we gained listeners.
Yeah, it's equal in the end. In the end, it's all equal. But look, we've done this for almost 8 years, right, of podcasting about preparedness. Our message gets received better. Our interactions are more positive. They're more fulfilling. We personally see things clearer when we don't make it about politics.
It's true.
We just don't make it about it, right? You need to know what's going on in the country. You can have and should have personal beliefs on this type of stuff, but like when it comes to preparedness, temper that approach. Don't make it about, I don't want to hear Trump the first word that comes out of your mouth. I don't want to hear Biden the first word that comes out of your mouth.
Me too. I check out.
I just don't want to hear it. I don't care. And I know it does affect things, but
it does. It does affect things.
How many times have we had because of this?
But because of both, we should prepare.
Yes. Yes. It doesn't matter who's coming into office or who's going out. They're all using you to stir you up and keep the tax dollars coming for them. That's all they're doing.
Yep.
None of them. It's so frustrating.
We totally need to prepare because of both parties.
Yes. So, anyways, that
there you go.
Pisses me off.
Man, this podcast just pissed me off.
I know.
It really pisses us off when preppers underestimate mental preparedness.
Yeah.
Boy, did COVID ever expose this weakness in our...
Yeah, pulled their pants right down.
Good.
Right? Ding-a-ling flopping in the wind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I even wrote that down.
Yeah, I can't remember. I wrote it.
You read it. Good job. But this is a huge issue that's overlooked. Listen, if you're struggling with depression and anxiety, and I understand it is a real problem, and people really have true depression and anxiety problems. But to think that like the removal of modern day and your job and your responsibilities because of some, crisis, that it's going to maybe get better, that you're going to lose some of that stress. I got a few words for you. It ain't.
Yeah. It ain't.
Seriously, like, I've never seen so many people come through a medical clinic with more stress, anxiety, and depression than I did during COVID. It destroyed people.
Yeah.
And it destroyed, me mentally, it was super
For sure.
exhausting. So it's like, and to think that something like COVID, and there's possibly worse scenarios out there that are probably going to happen. It just lets you, it just really opens your eyes to how important it is to have good mental health and or seek attention if you don't. Figure out how to manage it now, because it will not get better. It's going to get worse, and it's going to get harder. And so if you don't have a plan, whether that be meditation, medication, like family support, like whatever it is, like get it set up now and get it taken care of, because it's going to get a lot harder.
Yeah, you got to deal with it now, man.
Like it doesn't have to be, an alien invasion or spider parachuting in. It could be just job loss. It could be family illness. Like those things are mentally taxing. So it is hugely important, just as much as physical fitness. And those two go hand in hand. You got to be physically fit and mentally strong, because as a survivalist, as a prepper, like nothing's more important to any plan.
Well, and it's, in the past, maybe not so much as much anymore, but in the past as a guy, it was kind of like you didn't want to admit or talk about that type of thing.
It's true. And that is very, very true.
And like, so it's hard. I think it's
grew
harder
up that
for some
way.
guys.
My family, my parents are still that way.
Yeah,
I'm just
for sure.
like, both of you could use a high dose of an antidepressant because you are miserable half the
or
time.
another way to deal with those things, right? Yeah. And so like as a guy, it's like, I think it's getting better. Like you can talk about it now. And
there's nothing wrong with medication.
No.
I'm just saying address it now.
Yeah. And like, it doesn't have to be medication. It might be.
Yeah.
It might be just some other way to mitigate
or
that
start
stuff.
medication, get and figure it out, and then go off the medication.
Yeah.
Like that's our whole goal.
Yep.
So
I mean, how many studies have said that like vigorous physical exercise is
hugely
better
important.
than medication?
It is
in those. So like, there's a lot of
and
things
some
you can
need
do.
medication only. I mean,
for sure.
they're not going to find any other relief. But just figure it out.
Yeah, whatever
like
it is.
go and address it. Like face it.
And
Like
not even just for preparedness, man. It's just like
in general.
it's just for your life. That sucks
for
to
your
go
family,
through life
for
that way.
work, for exactly.
It sucks to live your life
100%
that
agree.
way.
So it drives us nuts when that's underplayed, like downplayed.
We don't want anybody out there listening. I mean, everybody's going through stuff, but we don't want you to just ignore it and deal with it. Like, figure it out, man.
A lot of us that are probably the same age as us that are listening, we've
That's
been
how it
taught
was.
and we've seen to not address any of that.
Yeah, as my dad would just be like, pull up your skirt, Sally, get it done. Like, that's like, I've literally something my dad has said to me, right? And so, like, you got to know that you don't have to deal with it. Like, figure it out. There's things to do. Number 17. It really pisses us off when preppers neglect personal safety and self-defense.
It's true.
Okay. And this is a multi-pronged
of
thing.
this.
Yes, there's tons of forms of this. And this comes back to a couple earlier ones, maybe the physical fitness one. But part of safety and self-defense is physical fitness, right? But it's also a lot more than that. You kind of have to widen your thoughts and your ideas and approaches to self-defense. And it pisses me off when people just don't take it into account, right? It's just like, I got food, I got a chicken, I'm good.
Yeah.
Right?
I got 22 in the basement.
I mean, but it also, it's like a lot of people have that very...
There's a lot of people who don't even have any weapon.
That's what I'm saying.
They're
Like, they don't
I'm
have
not gonna
anything.
have to deal with that.
There's people that
We'll be fine.
Yep. Violence, I don't like any of it, so I don't deal with it at all, right? That's a horrible way to look at stuff because people are violent and you have to deal with them at some point or another. But there's also those people that are very lopsided with their approach, and people might think that might be Cam and I.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can do it.
There's just as many,
Right.
like you were saying, that overdo it with guns, and then ones that are like, I don't want any weapon or self-defense item or training.
Yep. There's both
So
sides
many.
of that spectrum. Because 5.56 is a huge part of it, but it's not everything, right?
Yeah.
There's those guys out there that got 9,000 rounds in their truck right now. but could not block a punch or couldn't run 50 yards if they had to, right?
Exactly.
So, and you know, in the firearm thing, it's big, and I get it. It's a huge aspect of it, and this might be just my personal feeling on it, but I don't want to rely on firearms all the time. Like, I just don't want to do it. It's just, and I get it. Maybe one day I'm going to regret that and something will happen. But if I have to use a gun on somebody, like, the rest of my life is changed and the rest of their life is changed, right?
Yeah.
So
do I
devastating.
own a firearm for the idea of self-defense? I do.
I do.
So-
I do. Yeah. So anyways, that's why, I mean, that's a lot of the reason why I've gone down the jiu-jitsu route, because I'm like, hey, if I get into a situation, I don't have to rely on a gun, especially if they don't have a gun. I don't feel like I'm just going to get beat up or, you know, curb stomped or something. Like, I'll be okay. Right.
And that's a misconception I had of all like martial arts. I was like, "Oh, you gonna kick somebody in the face?
Yeah,
you tough
exactly.
guy?"
Yeah.
No, it's the opposite.
It's
like,
like-
well, the good trained, like the ones that are doing it for the right reasons.
Right.
It's a self-defense.
It's self-defense, and it's a way that
They're not going to pick a fight,
No, and it's a way that I could stop a
but
situation.
others are going to.
I
and
could
so you've
stop
gotta
a
be prepared for
situation
that.
without hurting somebody necessarily. So, anyways, it just pisses me off when people don't look at that. Be open to all forms of self-defense, whatever the best approach is. You know, maybe Cam and I could do more with firearms. Maybe. I don't know. We both have a lot of guns. I don't know. It's just the way that we speak about it is different, right? So, and it just pisses me off.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
It really pisses off when preppers fearmonger instead of providing practical advice.
Oh my gosh. And we talk about this
Cue
a lot.
the YouTube a-holes.
Yeah, because there's a lot of
They
them.
just want clicks. They're not out there to help you, honestly.
They're not.
They're really just trying to get information that's going to give them more subscriptions.
Yeah. And
so-
again, subscribers are great. Money is great. Clicks are great. Just doing it that way is dirty, and I don't like
I
it.
think it's dirty too.
I don't like it.
And I'm not saying also that you couldn't get some good information from those.
Yeah.
But it is exhausting.
I don't know.
It's like,
Yeah.
you know, the boy who cried wolf is a real thing. And so those that are just out there doing this and just putting fear into people, especially those that haven't, you know, even considered prepping, and that happens to be the video they watch, not knowing what kind of a nightmare they're going to get themselves into.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's not their fault. I think it's the idiots who keep watching.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
That's
sorry
true.
to say
They're
that,
keeping it alive.
but like, at what point do you say, why does he keep saying the world's going to end and I have 3 days?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah, exactly.
And I keep watching.
Yeah, I don't know what you're
Yeah.
what you're getting out of it, but
Yeah.
it's not helpful. I don't see why you're continuing that, but it pisses off when we see that because a lot of people think that we do that too. Like before they've listened, before they even
Yeah.
understand what we're talking about,
Yeah.
they're like, or they think prepping in general is just fear mongering,
Right. Yeah.
You know, they're just like,
Sure.
well, you guys are just making everybody paranoid because the world's going to end, and it's like they just don't understand it.
They don't know that there are flying spiders coming. Yeah. I mean,
Who's going to tell them?
what are you going to do?
Who's going to tell them?
Come on.
Yeah. So constant bombardment of fear mongering doesn't help anyone.
Yeah.
And so we hate it.
We do. Number 19. It really pisses us off.
Number 19. Well, YouTube video.
Yeah, I know.
That's a,
You're not going to believe number 5. It really pisses us off when preppers let prepping take over their lives. And it's not, this is more like, obviously it doesn't piss me off. I just feel bad.
I see this quite a bit in our town.
Yes.
I'm just like, geez Louise.
Like, really?
Live a normal life.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, everything's fine.
You can buy a car
Yeah.
without 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
I don't.
No.
Myself.
Yeah, but you can.
But you can
Yeah.
enjoy things. Yeah.
We've
It's
all
like-
met those preppers or seen them online, you know, like their entire life. They eat, they sleep, they breathe being a prepper
Yep.
and preparedness, right? Everything, all the
They
money.
go to the grocery store and it's only like bags of rice and
Yep.
flour. Like they don't buy anything.
Yeah. No chips,
No.
no Coke,
Save chips for me.
no macaroni. All of their finances, all the money they make, all their free time, all of their mental focus goes
Is
towards
preparing
being
for
prepared.
Something that probably won't ever happen.
Yeah, and you know, there might be a time when that becomes something you should do, but it ain't right now.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
exactly.
that right now, right? And again, these people are the ones that are usually those
Who wants to
condescending.
live like that and then go right into it again?
I don't know.
I
It's
guess
like
they're like, I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Easy transition.
I get you get an easy
like,
transition,
man,
but you can.
What are you fighting for?
Yeah, what is it? Like, yeah, just live that way and don't worry about it, I guess.
I
But
guess so.
anyways, this is a problem. Really pisses me off. More just pisses me off because I feel bad for those people. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree.
Whatever.
This last one, number 20.
Mm-hmm.
20. It really pisses off when preppers refuse to consider modern technology in the role of preparedness.
Yes.
That happens all the time.
So much.
We get called out on it all the time.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's like the whole lighter argument is one
Yeah.
of my favorites.
It is, yeah.
Because people are like, yeah, you pussies, you don't know how to do any bushcrafting. You're lighting fires with lighters. You're right. They're $1 for like 16 at the dollar store, or you can get a Bic lighter and it'll last you probably the whole apocalypse starting fires. There is some good technology out there. And again, going back to those that just think an EMP is going to wipe everything clean, you know?
Yeah.
It's like cell phones, smartphones, like there's so much that can be done with them that's helpful.
Yeah.
Organizing your preps, keeping an inventory, communicating, apps and plans can all be made on that phone. And so those like hardcore preppers that are just like, don't even bother, don't be connected to the grid because it's going to all come down and crumble.
Don't
and it's
use
like,
a bank.
Yeah.
You got to keep
what
it
do
in
these
your mattress.
people do for a living?
Yeah.
Do they interact with humans? Do they drive a car? Or do they just like walk to work with their bug out bag on their back?
I don't get it.
But there's so much good technology out there that makes prepping easier and funner, and
It gives you a leg up.
It does. It really does.
Right?
So
Yeah.
don't be that type that's like, no, if you don't carry a bunch of kindling and ferro rod in your backpack only, then you're not a real prepper. Like, don't buy into that crap.
Use technology.
Yeah.
Where it makes sense.
Yep. There's some
Do
awesome gear that we've received that I'm like, this blows my mind. Like, it puts like 10 different tools into one.
And sometimes I wonder, like, how are those people getting to me on the internet if they're not using technology?
Their parents.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, are they listening to a podcast somehow?
Yeah.
With
true.
no technology?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Whatever. Anyways, that's 20 things preppers do that piss us off.
Yeah.
We could have done 50
If you
probably.
do 'em,
yeah.
man, I'll get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We, we have
That was a Tom Cruise thing. Yeah. Oh, man.
Well, wow.
I broke the
bicep
thing over there.
freaking about shattered that.
You got to get smaller biceps. That pisses me off. Okay.
Exactly.
I got these little ones over here. You got 18-inch
Mine are
buys.
only-
Mine are only 4.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Anyways, yeah, that's it. Anything else on that, Cam?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, like you said,
Don't piss
there's a
us off.
lot of things that piss us off, but these are the real common ones that come up. So
Yeah.
don't be that way.
Today's podcast, guess what? It's brought to you by TacPack, the only tactical subscription box with useful professional grade stuff inside. Use our code CASUALPREPPERS and get a free $70 machine-made part from Next Level Armament. They're lying to somebody somewhere. I don't know how it's happening.
Yep.
They're stealing something, but they're doing it, and it's insane how they can fit all of that into $50 or one
I don't know
box.
how they do it. I
don't
really
know.
don't.
Good luck. Go get yourself a TacPack.
It's time for the quick and dirty medical tip.
I'll make it short and sweet.
Okay.
And I've talked about this before.
Let me tell your wife every
What
Friday.
what are genuine emergencies?
I don't know.
This is a
genuine?
problem in the United States. This actually was an article about Germany has the same problem. People overutilize emergency services.
Like 911 or something, or
Yeah, well, in emergency rooms and urgent cares and stuff like that. So I'm just going to read these things to you. Severe emergencies should be assumed in the following cases. These are things that should use urgent medical care.
okay.
Chest pain, circulatory disorders, like blood clots or, stuff like that. Disorders of consciousness. They're freaking, demented or they're out of it or like there's something going on. They're either sick or septic or something like that. They should be brought in. Breathing difficulties. This is a short list, and I think it sums up all of the things that are emergencies. So chest pain, circulatory disorders, disorders of consciousness, breathing difficulties, sudden weakness or numbness, paralysis, obviously like a stroke or something like that.
Yeah.
Severe bleeding that you can't stop,
Yeah.
and allergic shock,
Wow.
anaphylaxis, stuff like that. So that's a short list. But what do we typically see in emergency departments? My son woke up with a sore throat yesterday.
Yeah.
My kid has a rash.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, but like come in with these things within like 24 hours. It just blows my mind.
Right.
The reason I brought it up is because, like we've talked about with the Prepper's Medical Handbook, you're not going to have access in certain scenarios, a lot of them, to emergency medicine. It needs to be reserved for the more severe stuff. That's what they're there for. That's what they're trained to do. When your kid, twists his ankle, give it a few days.
Yeah.
Like, wrap it up, have him stay off from it. If he's still limping, bring him in. Like, the bone isn't going to heal in 2 hours.
No.
So just stuff like that. Like, I think it's really important to kind of go over what is an emergency when you're going over your preparedness plan, when you're going over your food supply. Like, look over the simple medical things that you can manage at home so that you're not having to worry about going into the hospital and picking up some super difficult to treat super bug.
Yeah.
Because you went in because your kid had a runny nose or,
Right.
ear pain. Most things resolve. A body is made to like take care of itself.
To get better.
Like,
Yeah.
it just blows my mind and it's frustrating. And so I just thought to review that, like those key things of what are emergencies and what kind of falls into that category, because we need to back off on the emergency services and leave it for when it's needed. I don't want to go with a heart attack to the hospital and the waiting room's full of kids with snotty noses. It's like, do they have a fever?
Yeah.
Have they been puking for 10 days? Like,
Yeah.
drives me nuts. Man, I get on this soapbox so often.
That's one thing you hate. It pisses you off.
It does piss me off because people just need to educate themselves. It said in this article, too, what are the most common reasons people go into emergency services when they don't necessarily need to? Musculoskeletal injuries, back strain,
Right, yeah.
twist their knee.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just need to learn how to give it a little more time and what to do at home. And if it doesn't get better, then you seek attention.
Go to your general practitioner.
The second most common reason is their general practitioner wasn't available. They can't wait. They don't want to wait. They can't wait a few days.
Yeah.
I understand there are some locations where you call and they're like, it's going to be 6 weeks. You're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So I can understand.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, if you can avoid using those services, do. It saves us a ton of money with premiums. And it also opens the availability for the doctors to see what needs to be seen.
Yeah, real emergencies.
Yeah.
That's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you follow us on all the social medias. Make sure you're checking out our other podcast that's on the off weeks. If you're missing us on the off weeks, you can still hear our stupid voices on the other podcast.
Yeah.
This podcast is a secret. We're not telling anybody about it because it's a secret. Okay?
It's true.
Yeah,
it doesn't
so
exist, but it exists.
Next
Go and
episode's
subscribe to
going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So just better get it. All right, guys. Thanks. Stay survived.